You guys should know who I am. I am the world famous Stuttering John. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact backed up by documents. So let's think about that for a second. Let's let that set in. 30 Feeling Shows. 30 Feeling Shows. What can we say about 30 Feeling Shows? Why do they do it? Why do they do it? Why do they go on and make fun of me? Jealousy. Jealousy. That's why. They're jealous of a man that's successful. I'm the man. I'm the one. Now, let's talk facts. Does Shuli, the shitware, he likes to be called the shitware, does he teach you guys about the Magna Carta? Does he teach you guys about the Constitution? Does he? Does he know how to read and write? Does he know his ABCs? Do I have to answer you? Do you guys know the answer? He doesn't. This is what we're talking about. The shitware has a total lack of respect for the law as we know it. And that's a fact, yeah. That's a fact backed up by documents. That's undisputed facts in this Devilverse. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. So, I will teach you about the Magna Carta. Since 30 failing shows refuse to do it, they shirk their responsibilities in this Devilverse. They're derelict in their duties. That's a fact. Undisputed. In this Devilverse. Why do they do that? Why do they shirk their responsibilities? Do they even know anything about America when it was founded? Do they? The shitware failed out of second grade. He couldn't color between the lines. He was eating glue. Getting in trouble. Playing with his friend that had 6,000 images on his computer. And you're going to tell me he didn't know? What kind of man is that? You call himself a man? Skull! Shuli, the shitware, is a disgrace. He's a disgrace to America. He's a disgrace to this Devilverse. We're shooting facts out now, folks. Okay? So, I don't talk nonsense. I talk facts. We're going to talk facts up in here. Okay? So, these are facts we're shooting out. We deal with facts in this Devilverse. My name is Stuttering John. I am the one. I am the man. You don't question me. You don't question my authority in this Devilverse. How can you do that? Why would you question me? A good and decent man. A man that's made it farther than anyone in this Devilverse. I'm a good father. I was a good husband. I was a breadwinner. I worked 14 hours a day. I took care of my family. Did the shitware, or does the shitware take care of his family when he's hopped up on you know what all day? Is he? Playing around in his studio in the basement all day? Is he a good guy? Is he one of the good guys? I will let you be the judge of that. It is not going to work. He's not going to deflect. He's not going to shirk his responsibility onto me. I'm one of the good guys here. I made it farther than most. People that are jealous of my Writers Guild pension, like Shuli, the shit we like to be called the shitware, they're jealous of my pension. They're jealous that I drive a rich man's car, Mercedes SL 430, presidential edition. Jealous of success. Jealous of my stocks, my bonds, annuities, real estate, a diversified portfolio. Does the shitware have a diversified portfolio? I think you know the answer to that. Does any of the owners of these 30 failing shows have any liquid money? Do they have stocks? Do they have bonds? Do they have annuities? Do they own real estate? Do they have a pension? Do I have to even tell you the answer? The answer is no. The answer is a firm no. And we're talking about these losers. And let's talk about the losers a little more before we get into the video. Now, a loser can only lose because he's a loser. A loser can never win. And that's what we're talking about. A loser with a capital L. We're talking about the shitware. We're talking about 30 failing shows. We're talking about the mud dog or whatever he calls himself, the surf shark or he jumped shark or Mr. T. I don't know what he's called, the mud shark. I don't know what he is. Chad Zumach, the cat burglar from Home Alone. He's your savior. He's the one. He's the man. He did it. You know, okay, so that's if that's what you want to go with, that's your premise. Does the mud shark teach you guys about history? Does he? Does he know any history? Does he know anything about World War I, World War II, World War III, World War IV? Does he know about World War V? I think you guys know the answer to that. He's another one. He's another failure. Failed out of school. Failed out of school. Failed out of school. That's him. The surf shark. Crazy shark. He'll get you in the dark. That's the man. Then you got some of the good people in the community, like Joey C. He's one of the good guys. And, you know, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with people like the shitware that failed out of second grade. He's the one. He's the man. He did it. He ate the glue. Okay? He did that. He failed out of second grade. He thinks he knows more than me? A New York University graduate like me? He thinks he knows more than me? The shitware? The dues payer? Okay? He doesn't know more than me. He's no good. Let's go! Hope everyone's having a good night. We're having a good time so far. As long as the shitware stays out of my sight. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact backed up by documents. Okay? Oh. These are facts we're talking about, people. We're going to talk facts up in here. Okay? So, we're talking about Shuley, the shitware. Talking about his crimes. And these are facts once again. So, you don't question me, you question the shitware. Okay? So, that's what we're dealing with. Wait, what were we talking about again? All right, let's take a short nap, folks. Heads down, heads down. Take a nap. Nap time. Oh. Heads down, everyone. Heads down. Nap time. Heads down, everyone. Nap time. Heads down, everyone. Nap time. Okay, we're back. We're back, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed your nap. Hey, Cinderella, how you doing? Hope you took a nap with us. We'll go on for a little bit, then we'll take another nap. We're a little tired over here, folks. But we're doing good. We're doing good. We're talking about the shitware, why he disgusts me, and I almost need another nap. How you doing, Cinderella? We're going to be learning about the Magna Carta pretty soon. We're going to be talking about that, why it's important, and why it's good. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so yeah. Hope everyone's having a good night. We're having a good time here in the Stuttering John show. We're going to be... Bob, can you make me some coffee? We need some coffee, folks. We're going to keep going. Ooh. We might have to do some typing tonight, too. We'll see. We got the typewriter here. Oh. Oh. Okay. See if we can get the typewriter going, folks. Let's get some paper. Oh. Hope everyone's having a good night. I know I'm having a good time because you guys are here with me. Okay. That's all that's important in this Devilverse. Oh, then we'll take another nap and watch some, learn a little bit about the Magna Carta, if that's okay with everyone. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, we got the Smith Corona here. It's a good typewriter. Oh, good, it's plugged in. Okay. We're having a good time. I'm going to take some notes on the typewriter when we start the video in a little while, if that's okay with everyone. Let's go! Ah. Oh. Okay. What are we doing here, folks? Oh. Okay, let's start the Magna Carta video if that's okay with everyone. Let's see how we're gonna do this, folks. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, here we go. Magna Carta.
Hey guys, welcome to Hip Hughes History as we take a look in this episode of the Magna Carta. How excited are you to learn about the Magna Carta?
I'll be taking notes.
I don't care if you're a kid in school, a lifelong learner, or if you're just cray-cray on the internet. We're going to go do the giddy up for the learning and go get
Magna
it done.
Carta.
Right. All right, guys, why don't we start with the big idea first, and that is the Magna Carta is muy importante. Very important in terms of the development of individual rights and this concept that I have liberty and that the king, the
individual
government
rights.
take away that liberty without reason. And really, the Magna Carta is...
Okay, let me type that out. Magna Carta. Individual rights. Okay. Important for individual rights. Let's keep going, folks. Okay, how do we turn this back on?
It's going to be very significant in the development not only of kind of English law and the English Constitution, the development of Parliament, but right here in the good old USA. Parts of the Constitution are really directly lifted from the Magna Carta. When you look at the suspension clause, which is in Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2, and it says that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless rebellion or invasion, public safety may require it. This idea that habeas corpus. You can't arrest me. You can't put me in the hole, Jack, unless there's some process, some reason, some idea. In fact, the origins of habeas corpus can be traced back to the original Magna Carta from 1215, the 39th clause, which said, no man shall be arrested or imprisoned except by the lawful judgment of his peers or by the law of the land.
So right?
You have to actually violate a law to get arrested. And then
let's type that out.
By your peers.
Pause that. You have to be judged by your peers. Okay, you have to be judged by your peers. Let's keep going.
Right is the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. That's where it came from. So the big idea is the Magna Carta, which is going to be not that significant in the very beginning. It's going to be very significant if we look at the development of the Republic and Western civilization. How about that? All right, let's take a look at a little bit of the history of the Magna Carta and get a little bit more specific. My French is terrible, but we have to start with talking about the Angevin kings. And we're not going to do a million years of English history right here. We should know that in the very early 13th century, the early 1200s, we have the Angevin line of kings. And this is kind of a king line that has roots, a dynasty that has roots in France that's ruling the kingdom of England. Henry II was the first of those kings. You might have heard of it.
Okay, line of kings. Let's keep going, folks. We got a lot of work to do.
A guy by the name of Richard the Lionhearted, and Richard the Lionhearted especially. And
okay, Richard the Lionheart. Let's keep going, folks.
And
Oh,
Henry II, really it kind of abandoned this concept that there was a real relationship between the barons and the king. That probably wasn't true, but there was definitely less conflict between the kings and the barons before this line. That really the king was operating in the sense for the best interest of what they saw as the kingdom. And this new line is a little bit more interested in armies and crusades, killing Muslims. So that might be part of the reason why by the time we get to the death of Richard the Lionhearted, where his brother takes over. His brother is going to be King John. King John's nickname was Sword. So you can see that
his brother was King John. Okay, let's keep going, folks. A lot of work to do.
Not going to be that successful in terms of military conquests. And early on, he starts losing battles with France. He starts losing land. And as a result of that, he started looking for some extra change. He starts raising taxes. And of course, the barons in this feudalism system, you have the king, you have the barons, you have feudal lords, all the way down to the bottom, you have the serfs. Everybody answers to somebody. But right now, the king isn't answering to anybody. And they're being reminded in their history that way before this, in the year 1100, Henry I had actually signed something called the Charter of Liberties. And that really wasn't in effect for very long, but this was a very basic listing of rights. And I'm not talking about rights for everybody. I'm talking about rights for the people way up here, right? For the barons, for the feudal lords, for the people that are right underneath the king. They're looking for relief in terms of taxation. They're looking for a lessening of the king's power.
They're looking for less taxes. Serfs looking for tax relief. Very good.
I mean, the king at that point could deny a marriage if he wanted to. He'd be like, no, you two aren't getting married. You couldn't get married. So basic things like that, property rights, inheritance rights, very basic ideas that there were certain freedoms the king couldn't take away. That was lined out in the Charter of Liberties. And that's like 1,000 years before this. That's 1100. So now fast forward to 1215, and these barons are looking at this line of kings who are operating under this banner of force and will, of divine right.
So,
and they're not liking it at all.
This was 1215. Okay, let's keep going.
So in 1214, we kind of have the final straw for the barons when John I loses the Battle of Bouvines. And now they're going to start to organize themselves.
Let's write that down. Loses the Battle of Bouvines. Let me rewind that a little bit.
Banner of force and will, of divine right, and they're not liking it at all. So in 1214, we kind of have the final straw for the barons when John I loses the
There we go, Battle of Bouvines. John I loses the battle, Battle, of Bouvines. Okay. And let's just say that I think that the shitware has never taught you guys about the Magna Carta. And that's a fact. Yak.
Of Bouvines. And now they're going to start to organize themselves, and they're going to start to really represent a rebel group. They even elect a leader. Robert Fitz Walter becomes the leader. There's a conspiratorial theory that he believed that the king had violated his daughter, and this was a personal vengeance kind of thing. But he's going to be the organizer of the rebels. Now, John I wasn't the dumbest of the kings. He certainly could smell this rebel group that was forming. And previous to 1215 and 1213, he made a series of moves to lock himself in with the Catholic Church. He made an oath to be a crusader. He said he was a vessel of the Pope. He said that we're on the side of the church. And he sends communications to the Pope at that time, who was Innocent II, of this conflict between the barons and the king, and he's looking for support. Now, eventually, the Pope's going to respond on the side of John I, but they don't have the internets back then, so the letter took a very, very long time. And by May, the rebels who had organized themselves, this rebel baron group, attack London. And at that point, now the king realizes he's locked out of London. He's going to have to start to negotiate with these guys. So they agree, the rebels and King John, that they're going to get the Archbishop of Canterbury, Stephen Langton, to be the arbitrator between the two sides. So in June 1215, based in part on that previous 1,000-year before document, the Charter of Liberties, the Baron.
Okay, Charter of Liberties. A 1,000 years before, I think he said. Let's see if he said that. I can't remember.
That they're going to get the Archbishop of Canterbury, Stephen Langton, to be the arbitrator between the two sides. So in June 1215, based in part on that previous 1,000-year before document, the Charter of Liberties, the barons put together what's called the Articles of the Baron, kind of their wish list in this new relationship that they're going to have with the king. And that's going to be modified. It goes through a whole bunch of different edits in the negotiation process. But basically, at the end of the day, we get the Magna Carta. That's right. The Magna Carta is called the Great Charter. The Great Charter is the
Great Charter. Let's write that down. The Magna Carta is called the Great Charter. Okay. We'll review this afterwards too.
New relationship, the king's going to give up some stuff and the rebels are going to put down their weapons and they're going to renew the oath to the king. At least that's what they all say they're going to do. And that the basic root of the Magna Carta isn't so much all of this talk about liberty. And there's certainly a few passages in there that are going to evolve into this concept of due process, that when I get arrested, there needs to be due process, you know, kind of procedures that you go through, of habeas corpus, that you can't arrest me without reason, and certain other rights that are going to evolve. But really, the document is addressing what these barons' concerns are: inheritance, tax, land, real estate, kind of the nitty-gritty of common law, let's put it that way. And certainly, there's only 3 of the 63 articles that even mention serfs. The rest of the documents, like I said before, deal with the barons' concerns. And even some of them are a little bit fishy when you look at it through the lens of today, like Article 54. No man is to be arrested or imprisoned on account of a woman's appearance.
Article 54. Let's write that down. No man is to be arrested for or in prison on the account of a woman's appeal for the death of anyone other than her husband. HUSBAND. Okay, that's that. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Appeal for the death of anyone other than her own husband. So sorry for the ladies there. Unless someone killed your husband, you can't be a witness to a crime. And certainly there's other stuff in there like protection of church rights in terms of taxation, in terms of inheritance. But at the end of the day, the most important clause is going to be 61. It's called the security.
Clause 61. The security clause. Okay. Does the dues payer know about the security clause? I think you guys know the answer to that. Okay. That's a fact. Check.
Clause. And what it said was that there was going to be a council of 25 barons. And if the king didn't listen to the Magna Carta, wasn't following the rules after 40 days of an edict from this council of 25 barons, the barons had the right, the lawful right, to take over
the to listen to the barons. Okay. Hey, Mike B's here. I didn't know you were on. I was just waiting for Rob. Yeah, I couldn't wait. Sorry, Mike, because I do want to get to bed. I'm sure you do too. Thank you very much for the super chat. That means a lot, Mike. We're learning about the Magna Carta. Let's review since Mike is here. He's the number one star of this network. So far, this guy says, oh, by the way, Skull! So, sorry if you have to watch two shows at once, Mike. But like I said, I couldn't wait. In any event, the Magna Carta, so far we have typed on our Smith Corona typewriter, we have the Magna Carta is important for individual rights. You have to be judged by your peers. Richard the Lionheart. His brother John was a king. I should have took better notes. King John started losing land and raising taxes. The serfs were not happy about that. The serfs were looking for tax relief. John lost his first battle of the Bobines. John is on the side of the church. Articles of the Baron. Magna Carta is also called the Charter. They have due process. Article 54, no man is being arrested or imprisoned on the account of a woman's appeal for the death of anyone other than her husband. Church's rights. Clause 61, security clause. King has to listen to the barons. And this is where we will continue.
Castle to take power away from the king until he resolved the matter. That's huge. That means that there's going to be accountability between the king and the barons. But unfortunately, the Magna Carta is not going to work out for those guys way back in the day. They're both going to violate what they were supposed to do. The rebels are supposed to get out of London. They're not going to get out of London. King John isn't supposed to appeal to anybody. He goes running to Pope Innocent II, and that's going to fall apart. And we're going to get what's called the First Baron War. And you know, if there's a First Baron War, one day, very important in terms of the development of individual rights and this concept that I remember. The Magna Carta is not a concept.
First Baron War. Mike V, thank you for the second super chat. Mike says, I need to learn more. I need to learn about the Magna Carta. This isn't the document proof we need. I am sorry. We will keep going with the series, Mike, for sure. Oh, another super chat. Thank you very much. Oh, you meant this is the proof. All right, yeah. We're going to keep going with the series because I like the fact that you like it, and I like saying the word Magna Carta. It's very interesting. I can't believe it dates back to 1215. And once again, does the shitware teach his audience about the Magna Carta? I think you guys know the answer to that.
Hardest part about a writing assignment is getting started. I'll use Grammarly to illustrate how AI can...
Sorry, folks.
It's just something in English history.
Sorry about the ads, folks. I'm too cheap for YouTube Premium.
That evolved into common law and was adopted into later legal matters. So now at least you know something about the Magna Carta. Thank goodness for that. So you're going to be ahead at the next party you go to or the next test you take, you're going to pass. All right, guys. I say it because I say it at the end of every lecture because I mean it with all my heart. Where attention goes, energy flows.
And someday we'll do a 10-hour stream just based off the Magna Carta. Once again, we typed this on the Smith Corona. This is Smith Corona, spell right, 335 DLE typewriter. So it wasn't perfect, the Magna Carta, but if it wasn't for the Magna Carta, we wouldn't have the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. That's a fact. Once again, shitware doesn't teach his folks about the Magna Carta. He can't do it. That's right, Mike. Shuli the shitware doesn't teach people about waterfalls. Shuli does not teach us about the Magna Carta. And he doesn't use a typewriter. That's Corona, by the way. That's our Magna Carta series. We almost made it to the... let me see if I can get rid of this screen. Stop screen, maybe? There we go. Yeah, so the shitware, we proved in every way possible that the shitware isn't capable of running a channel. We proved that he couldn't do it. And that's a fact backed up by documents. We proved that tonight. Mike B and I proved it. Julie can't do it. Yep. That's right, Mike. He once covered, Mike B's advising, Julie can't do it. He once colored all over the Magna Carta. He has no respect for that document. That's true. You know, when you're too busy eating glue and not coloring it between the lines, that's a problem. You know, he's a rotten apple. Sometimes you can't fix that. He's a little, there's things we can't fix about him. He's untrainable. He wouldn't listen. See, that's his problem. He wouldn't listen to Howard when Howard would tell him to do things around the studio. And that infuriated Howard. Yep, it was a mess. All outside the lines. With Crayola. At least use Crayola. It was a mess, though. And that was before the days that they were environmentally responsible crayons, too. And he has no respect for anyone. He knew about his producer. They were childhood friends. How could he not know? They went to second grade together. They played in the park together. They played Monopoly together. They were best friends. How could he not know? Julie knew what he was doing. And now, he made his bed. He will have to deal with that. How could he feel good about that? There's nothing you could feel good about with that. Julie, shitware, he likes to call it shitware. Once again, the shitware did nothing substantial on the Howard Stern show. He's always hiding underneath his desk. I had to run and put all the fires on the show. He wasn't capable. He wasn't even capable of fetching Howard's lunch correctly. That's the shitware in a nutshell. That's the meat and potatoes of the shitware. You know, he's tried to work. I give him credit. He used to try to get a job. He can't get a job. He got fired. He was working the third shift in a Dairy Queen. He got fired from that job. He's a shitware. For anyone watching, Mike V and everyone, not sure what your schedules are, but at 3 o'clock Saturday, I know part of it's going to be taped. Part of it might be live. I'm going live with Pineapple's friend. I forgot what his name is. Ludwig or something. And then we're doing some pre-recorded things with Pineapple. So, we got that to look forward to. And we're not ending yet, but we're ending soon. But so Sunday also, this is a big announcement. This Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. my time. I don't know what your guys' time is, but the time in Buffalo, 8 p.m. Joey C. from the Dableverse is going live with Poe on the Go, which Poe on the Go is a personal friend of mine in real life. He's a retired police officer with over 33 years seniority. He's going live with Poe on the Go and me. We're going to be talking about the law, police issues, anything law related. And if the show goes good, we might make it a weekly thing Sunday night at 8 p.m. Those are my announcements. And yeah. How's everyone doing? Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I told you that in case you have to bounce. I know it's getting late. I know I get up at 7, so we're not going to stay on too much. No, I get up way before 7. I leave at 7. As you guys know, I drive to work at 7. Couple days a week. Trying to think what else we have to go over. But we proved a lot today. We proved that surely the shitware doesn't wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, shitware. Shitware, he doesn't take care of his audience. The shitware doesn't leave his studio. How can he do that in this country? How can he feel good about that? Thanks a lot, Mike V. That makes me feel really good. Mike V, I'll post that comment here. Mike V saying, I like your channel. You, Rob Saul, and SJ are my favorite channels. Thank you very much, Mike. That means a lot. And I also like the other 2 channels you mentioned. Yeah, seeing Joey C was on. I only seen a few minutes of it. Joey C was on Shuli's show. I seen earlier today. I think I just caught the end. Yep. I know. I think we're going to call it a night, folks. Mike V, thank you very much for these super chats. I'm glad you caught me live here. Like I said, I don't know if Rob's still going on now, but I wanted to, got to call it sometimes, like I said. And Mike V, I hope you have a great night. And everyone else, hope everyone has a great night. All right. All right. Thanks again. Let's see. You got some comments here. All right. Sounds good. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks again, Mike.